Welcome to the Growth Hacks Experiences podcast, where coaches, founders, and entrepreneurs share their skills, tips, and insights on how to become better leaders, better managers, better coaches. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to an special episode of Growth Hacks Experiences. My name is Juan from Inspired Growth, and it's an honor and thrill to have as a guest today Dave Smith. Coach Dave, if I may ask as well. Dave, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Feeling good. Feeling good.
Well, before we start, I would like to share with the community that Dave is connecting all the way from the US, and we are here in Amsterdam, and we have this opportunity to see the experience from two sides of the world. We're going to discuss several topics in terms of launching a business, specific strategies around marketing, and not only that, but Dave also have an extensive experience not only in marketing, finances, but as well how to launch a business the right way. Dave, could you tell me a little bit as well, first, in terms of what we're going to discuss today, is that how did you decide, what led you to pursue a career as a business coach?
Well, thanks for that question. When I came out of college and I started to look for a job and I got into the investment world, it didn't take me too long to realize that we're in a sea of people selling things. So salespeople, salesmen, saleswomen, all over the world were out there pushing what they push and selling what they're supposed to sell. And I didn't really see a whole lot of informing and educating going on. So it's one thing to be really good at selling something and everything about that, but it's another thing to have a conversation with the consumer on the other end or the business owner on the other end to find out, what is really good for them or what they could really use or what they want, and then go out and find it and sell it to them. So to me, when I got into my 30s, it seemed to kind of be the opposite of that. And I wanted to make a difference. So in financial services, I became a broker. And then I could do, if you've ever heard of the term, the needs analysis, I could sit there with a whole slew of questions and just find out what's the best thing for this person. It was the same thing in marketing and coaching. You have a conversation, you ask questions instead of just selling something. So now you could get to the bottom of, what are your woes? What are you, poor at? What do you really need? And then you can really truly help someone. So I went from doing that in financial services, and after a few decades of that, that was about enough. So I started to get into marketing, and then when marketing was more geared to sales, then I transitioned into a business coach because now I knew how to talk business. You're on mute, Juan.
Sorry about that. And I see indeed, and that was indeed some interesting transitions from the finance world, the world of finances to the world of marketing. Do you see common misconceptions in terms of what the people believe that marketing is, and as
I
well
do.
from
I do. So to coattail on what I just said, from financial services, you have a whole giant world of products. So when people keep pushing all these products, if you're not in that business, all you hear about is all these different products. You're not informed or educated on what's right, what's wrong, how to do this, how to do that. you just hear about all these products. So in marketing or growing a business, it's the same thing. Every single day we see all these advertisements, all these shiny objects, all these new technological marvels coming out, and all you can do this ad and have a great website and email. How about a video? And you keep hearing all these tactics for sale without really getting to the fundamentals of growing a business first. So it's, to me, it was the same thing. And I just went from financial services to doing the same thing, for a business owner, because the misconception, to coin that word, is of all the deluge of tactics that we see every day and are pushed on us every day, the misconception is that's all you've got and that's the best there is. So you got to pick one or two or three, and that's it. And that's not the truth. The truth is, when you're really good, even in sports, when you're really good at the fundamentals, you can differentiate and you can build the business that you've always wanted to have. And that's not really front and center all the time. All the products are for sale.
Correct, correct. And indeed, it's even the term of how this FOMO started, like fear of missing out, because there are so many things going on, being offered as well in the world. In terms of your experience, Dave, how would you say that there are some specific corrections or steps that you recommend us to take to correct?
Well, I always talk about the fundamentals of building or growing a business or marketing your business. And then I talk about this word, that your foundation. So if you understand the term winging it, as the Nike swoosh, just do it. So we're trained a lot in sales to just get out there and do it. And, you can get better on the fly and correct your mistakes on the fly. While in business, in finance, if you just wing it, you could be hurt and it could waste a lot of your time. But in business, this foundation, these fundamentals, it starts with how do you differentiate from everybody else who does what you do? And that's a deep dive into strategy, which is it's not really about you. It's not really about your business, what you offer. It's about how you answer or solve problems for your target or ideal client or customer. And most people in business get that backwards. So do you really believe that the outside perception is they care how colorful your website is? Your goofy attention-grabbing ads with an animal or a little baby laughing or a funny-looking GIF. Do you think that that's really what makes a sale? So after you get this differentiation, which is not easy to do, you move on to your client or your customer persona, which is your target or ideal client. That helps you focus, because you can't just sell to everybody, because everybody's not your audience. So these fundamentals, there's 5 of them. The first one is what they call your market dominating position. What is that? Why would they care about you and what you offer? The next one is defining your target or ideal customer or client. So you work on this persona of who would be your favorite customer to have or client to have. And those are the ones that you gear your business and your marketing to. The third one would be how do you map out their decision-making process. How do they decide to buy what you offer? So when you're doing these things, you're looking at what they want versus what they need. You're looking at, what do you do to answer that? What do you need to do to answer that? To make it compelling enough? Your quality of your product or your offering, and the issues or emotional hot buttons that it solves. So that, again, that's the third one, and these are deep dives because you're building your foundation of your business. So the next one would be composing your compelling messaging. So you know how everybody loves to talk about themselves, their awards, their history. I've been at this since 1892. A lot of people call them platitudes. We use jargon in our industry all the time. And what's hard to figure out is you're lost in the weeds with everybody else who does that. No matter how good you are at what you, these compelling messaging, when you make it a connection. So in other words, what is it that keeps your target or ideal client up at night? What is their emotional hot button, their problems, their fears, their challenges? What are they? So all your marketing, all your messaging focuses on those answers and those solutions, not yourself. You know why? Because your website, your profile on your social media account, that's where that happens. So if I'm talking to you, Juan Carlos, about business fundamentals, I don't have to tell you an hour of my past history and how smart I think I am. I don't have to do that. I'm just going to get right to trying to help you in business. And if you want to research me, you could go find me on a couple of websites and on the internet, and you could do that to see if I'm for real. So, and after that, the fourth one is your sales process. So the sales process is, and again, all five of these take time and effort to make really good, because they are your foundation. You can't just build a wooden or aluminum house and just plop it on the ground.
Yeah.
The next storm that comes over, it's gone. So this foundation is the crux of your success. So the fourth one, the sales process, it's everything combined. So I look at it as maybe 6 or 7 components to a sales process, starting from, how do you differentiate from everybody, your mindset with your messaging, how do you create competition crushing marketing and advertising, and on and on and on with your sale. How do you get somebody on board? How do you deliver it? Things like this. So when you have that down pat, you don't want to worry about that. You want to have that down and almost have it an automated thing or a process. So I saved the best one for last, and I kind of touched on it earlier. You deploy strategic marketing collateral instead of tactical marketing. So building this foundation and connecting with your audience through their emotional hot buttons. This is strategy, and how you set up all your market, how you systemize your marketing campaigns. It's strategic. So when you figure out how you're going to connect with them to make your offer stand out amongst all the other ones, That's in your strategy, your business plan, your strategy. And then once that is all finished, now we could talk about all those 100 tactics to actually make that strategy come to life or deliver it or implement it. So in business today, everybody kind of gets that backwards. So as I said earlier, in this sea of tactical methods and shiny objects, the unsuspecting business owner is trying to be good at what they do for a living. And they don't know this unless somebody tells them about it, or they somehow, some way figure it out, that everybody is bombarded with methods, tactics every day. And if you have a bad strategy, or your messaging is bad, or your marketing is bad, none of these tactics are going to matter. I was in a discussion yesterday with somebody about SEO,
Yeah.
and how they were disgruntled by giving a lot of money to a couple of SEO experts. So this business owner was shouting out loud, "It didn't do anything for me. It didn't do anything for me." And I went right for the jugular. I said, "Did you ever show up on page one?" "Yeah, you did a couple times." "Okay, so what happened? Why did they not want to call you or
Yeah.
reach out to you?" And now they're looking at me with the deer in the headlights. So I thought the answer was just to be ranked. And I'm like, nope, that's a small part of the answer.
Yeah.
So, so pretty much these misconceptions are, go do this method or this tactic, and it is what it is. And that's about as good as it's going to get. And nothing could be further from the truth. It's in your strategy.
Wonderful, wonderful indeed. I consider that in talking about these marketing funnels, or this complete overview of the journey that our customers are going through. And what you were mentioning, indeed, tactics is only something that you apply once you really know what is your global strategy, what are your objectives. If I may ask also, Dave, in your opinion, in how do you validate the tactics that you're applying? Now, for example, in this case of the SEO person, what was he missing? What didn't he knew at the
So to
end?
follow along with this strategic foundation or these fundamentals,
Yeah.
he had none.
Okay.
So he was again, an unsuspecting business owner who just was winging it and thinking this is a good idea. He saw it in pray tell, a social media platform thread, when he asked, "How do I do this? How do I do that?" And he had 100 replies. "Try this, try that, try this, try that." And 90 out of 100 of them were telling him a tip to try this method, that method. So the world of the unsuspecting small business owner is, everybody is trying to, even if they're trying to help, they're trying to say, try that. Are you ranked? Can they find you? So the belief is, if they find me, if I spend $500 a month plus to get found or ranked, I'm good. I'm going to build the business of my dreams. And it just doesn't work that way. There's an awful lot of strategy involved with your foundation and the proper fundamentals of how to grow a business. And they're never really taught, because it's not a thing you can hold up in the air, or it's not a common Facebook, LinkedIn. It's kind of common. It's not common that somebody who's, say, a plumber or a roofer, or an accountant can just say, "Oh, I know what that is. I think I want to do that. That might help me."
Yeah.
That's the world of sales. And if And it happens in coaching. If one person has a bad experience with a coach who doesn't really know that much, now all business coaches don't know that much, right? That's just the way it works in business.
Yeah, yeah. We tend to follow these trends, even to a certain point that actually we convince ourselves sometimes that these are the rules, these are the ways how we need to follow, make a business grow. Dave, if I would ask you as well in the sense of the finance world and the marketing world, I I consider when I'm speaking with some of the business owners that we have, they lack also the part of money management, understanding how to arrange the finances in their business. What kind of recommendations would you give them as well in that sense, in that department?
Well, because of this daily routine of being sold to and all kinds of things being pushed on us, what isn't pushed on us is information and education. So that's the way you differentiate your business from somebody else. Because if you look at who's the consumer or who's the buyer, when you find someone in your example, when you find someone who maybe wants a little bit of help managing finances, or some information or guidance or education there, nobody's really putting that out unless it's about their product they're offering. So when I brought up that term, the needs analysis, it's kind of a little bit awkward, but somebody who doesn't trust somebody in finances, they can go on the internet and get a generic needs analysis, print it out and fill it out for themselves. And when they do that for themselves, things become a little bit clearer. They can focus a little bit better. So, with focus like that, there's clarity. Clarity gives them power. Power like that gives them more understanding. That more understanding they get from the information and education there, they have more certainty. And now with that certainty, they can trust their instincts or their decision making. So the way to get to the help anybody would need, no matter what it is if you take away all the impulse decisions, that picture when you're at a checkout line and you see all those little bags on the hooks, that's you make that's what they want to make more money for the business. That's 1 to 5% of the entire market are these right now or impulse buyers. And typically when they're at that point, they're now shopping for price. So all the others, the 95 to 99%, they take their time. They ask a friend, they read something, they procrastinate. They can't afford it just yet. They're not quite sure. So they buy a book or they watch a video. So all of these people out there are getting smarter and smarter because of all the gimmicks, the games, the tricks, the methods. They're getting smarter. So they want more information and education. Are you the business that's supplying that? It's your strategy, it's in your fundamentals, and it's in things like your messaging and your target audience. There's way more to it than just somebody selling you something. So that's the key, is to discern the difference between learning the fundamentals and how to grow a business, and try to ignore the noise of everybody trying to pitch you something, Because when you get the strategy down pat, the foundation, the fundamentals down pat, now once you have that, now either you, somebody on your staff, a friend, a relative, can do the implementation of the tactic. Or now you can call a specialist or an agency, say, this is what I want.
Yeah.
And they'll be able to do what you want because that's what they do. So everybody's got it reversed.
Super. Dave, also one question, because in the coming week, we also have a segment where we are talking with AI founders. How has AI impacted your business so far, or your net marketing in your perspective?
I'm really happy that you asked me that question. This is a growing trend and thing everywhere. And I started really early with shouting from the mountaintop that this is another shiny object to take up everybody's time. Everybody's going to be doing it. Everyone's going to look the same with the numbers and the bullet points and the little tiny paragraph first and the bullet points and the little tiny. Everyone's going to start to figure out, you didn't do that. You know, a machine did that. You're not genuine. So the advantage for someone who really knows what they're doing is outstanding. So I went through training to be a mastermind with artificial intelligence. And when I went through that training, it was a real deep dive into you as a business owner or a coach or a marketing expert training the machinery to give you what you really want. And it's not very easy to do. But everybody has it in them to do it. It's just got to be taught. And the people that have that kind of knowledge don't really want to teach it unless they charge a lot of money. So let's say I want to build a business plan. The last one I did was 31 pages long. It was for an accountant. And I did that based on my knowledge. So as a game, I went to artificial intelligence to do the same thing. Mine was better. So here's the key that I want everyone to take away. Mine took a week to do, and it was better. Artificial intelligence did it in about a minute. It wasn't bad. It was okay. But if you want to get real anal or real specific about things because you think they're important, you have to feed that information into the intelligence. If you don't do that, it's going to come out with things that could be perceived as generic or an overview. So let me tell you something in conclusion.
Yeah.
It's going to help me tremendously because I know how to use it. So I know how to go ask it a question and then have 10 follow-up questions until the intelligence says, I don't know anymore, but I'm going to try my best. So that's when you know it only has a certain amount of information that it has accumulated. It accumulates it from even it's not real, true, no agenda, no sides, not real, true information. Because when you do that deep dive, you see where they get their data from. So if it gets its data from CNN, the BBC, think tanks, Google, Yahoo, Bing, these are all very tainted and crooked organizations that only want to give off certain kinds of information the way that they see fit. So when everybody understands that, now you change and you become the master of this machinery, and you ask it certain specific things the way that you want to ask it to get it to perform the way you want it to perform. And most people aren't going to know that.
Wonderful.
So I have 5 different products now that do things with the help of intelligence. And if I want to do something as create an ebook, or I call that a compelling offer, or do something like that with say 10 chapters, I could go to each source and work on this information to filter it and sharpen it and chisel it into what I want. That's because I know how to do that. So if you did an ebook, if somebody did an ebook with artificial intelligence, or wrote an article, or did a post, I would know instantly that they didn't do that. And I would not hold any value to that at all. That's me. So if somebody does a article, a post on their own, they put humanness behind it, it looks genuine, sounds genuine, maybe they made a grammatical error or something, I would know that as being genuine. And I might want to pay attention a little bit more to that.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to make sure as well with our episode to share some of your ebooks, Dave, as a compelling offer for our community. We have several entrepreneurs looking forward to understand what are the next steps to take. As a seasoned business coach, Dave, if you have the opportunity to put a billboard in the moon and to leave a message for the people to see, may I ask you, what will be that message that you would like to define it?
I would have 2 of them. One would be strategy over tactics.
Strategy.
And then you could build the business of your dreams. And the other one would be on the technical side, when you're building your marketing or campaigns, start with the end in mind. What is it that you're offering? Is your offering, so my phrase would be start with the end in mind. And what I mean by that is there's 2 different ways to do that. One is you have a product you sell or a service you offer. If that's the end in mind, how do you get people to want that? So you have to build your marketing and advertising to get people to want that. You have to interrupt them or get their attention, give them a little bit of information, a little bit of education, and then, make that offer. If you're a clever business owner and you want to have that end in mind as a compelling offer, low or no risk at all to the consumer, then what is that? I must have that compelling offer. Is it an ebook, a report, a guideline, a checklist with a kind of an emotional hot button type headline or a title? So you build, if you mention the word funnel, if you build your funnel in marketing to whatever the end is in mind, that strategy is doing it to get leads in your database versus trying to make a sale. So in conclusion with that, I always ask a business owner, just an off the wall question: would you rather have 50 leads or one sale?
Yeah.
And you know what the answer always is? One sale.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's why I became a business coach, because that's the wrong answer.
Really. Super. Indeed, having the leads and convert them. Indeed. Great. Dave, thank you very much. I would say that indeed in a network of entrepreneurs and coaches in Europe, if they would like to get in contact with you, Dave, how would be the best way for them to contact you?
Both of my websites have contact forms, even if it's just to ask a question or say hello.
Yeah.
Would you like for me to say that or put that in the chat, or how would you like for me to do that?
We're going to mention them as well in this moment. I consider indeed we're going to make sure to have the links ready for the LinkedIn of your website as well, and will it be then following the forms on each of the channels for your best connection?
Well, in the bottom of my Zoom video here, you can see,
yeah,
that's my business name, IMJustice Marketing.
Yeah.
So my main website is IMJusticeMarketing.com.
Yeah.
My second website, you can actually get to it from IMJusticeMarketing.com. Up in the upper right-hand corner, it says tactical marketing. I'm sorry. It says my blog.
Yeah.
So you click on that and you go to my other website, which is a little bit different. All the people out there that wrestle with websites, I kind of wanted to have two websites for two different looks. So my main website is on WordPress, and it's a little bit of an old school theme, where I blog a lot and have a lot of good content. The other website is a little bit more modern. It's that drag and drop type method for a website, and it's a little bit more modern. And I wanted to say that because on both websites, I have a couple of my compelling offers, my ebooks, that anybody would be welcome to grab. You have to give your name and email up for them, but they're there. You can read about them, check them out, or my services. So I would say I have two websites, but you can get to the second one through IMJusticeMarketing.com.
Excellent. We're going to make sure as well to differentiate both websites as well and their channels. Dave, thank you very much. It has been an interesting conversation, and a lot of insights always in growth hacks experiences to share with entrepreneurs and to find the right way on how to launch their business, to grow their business as well, starting with the foundations. I wish you, Dave, a wonderful day, and thank you very much.
Oh, you're quite welcome. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Till next time, everyone. And please, thank you very much for following us today. If you have any questions for Dave or IMJustice Marketing, please let us know in the comments. We'll make sure to have the information delivered to Dave